All right, kids. This just in. 2 women were busted at O'Hare Airport with 50 pounds of cocaine in their luggage. 50 pounds, guys, that is nothing to sniff at. But Hunter Biden did try. Hi, everyone. I'm Kenny Webster, and I have sitting in front of me right now. That was in poor taste. You're a classy man, County Judge Keough. I should not talk that way in front of you.
No, that's funny.
You have to make fun of the left, because if we don't, they're going to drive us nuts. Here, put that mic in front of your face.
That's right. It'll make you crazy.
For those that don't know, that voice you're hearing, we're live streaming on the internet right now, as well as being on the radio, obviously, KPRC 950, 94.5 HD3, the official talk radio station for 94.5 The Buzz, and, of course, Sports Talk 790. And I am here right now with the guy that is considered by a lot of people to be the most conservative county judge in the state of Texas, at least the most conservative of a big county. Montgomery County is not a small place.
No, 750,000.
It's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
If it wasn't a suburb of Houston, it would be a big city all on its own.
For sure.
There's more people there than in New Orleans.
That's right.
I mean, you guys would have your own NFL team or something.
We may still have that.
Yeah,
you
why
never
not?
can tell.
Or an NHL team.
That's
or
right.
Hockey is a little... You're Irish, though. I won't hold it against you.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much, especially coming from a Brit like you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my last name is Webster. My mom's Italian. My dad's a lot of different stuff. But Webster is... Somebody asked me... I was arguing about politics the other day on the internet, and I made a point about Israel. And some guy in the comment section goes, Kenny Webster, is that a Jewish name? It's like, It's the Anglo Dictionary. I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know
That's amazing.
County
That's
Judge
funny.
Mark Keough, it's a great honor to have you here.
Thank you.
You run a community that most conservative leaders around, not only around the state of Texas, but around the country, look at as the blueprint for how they want their community to look. Montgomery County is very conservative. It's not a small place by any means.
No.
Usually very conservative places are small communities. Montgomery's not like that. Why is that?
Well, we've got a commitment to some ideology that many other counties, even those of our size, don't have. We're committed to having a stable government. We're committed to low taxes. We're committed to small business. And we're committed to the community, a family environment, where our position is we want to be able to play and pray and enjoy each other. We have got a community of approximately 425 plus churches that meet each week and worship. And so I think we're a virtuous community, a good community, where the people are very virtuous people.
I'm glad you brought up the point about churches, because some people may have forgotten about this, but you took office in 2019 on the heels of someone else's political scandal. We won't even get into that. You came in, you took over,
Yes.
You cleaned up. You did a lot of very bold things when you first took office. You implemented tax rate reductions. That was a big... Nobody wants to pay taxes, certainly not in a conservative community. You reduced your own salary. Mark, I don't mean to tell you how to do your job.
Sure.
But as a politician, it's going to be very hard for you to get rich when you reduce your own salary.
Well, that's exactly what happened. And so I did. I reduced it by 12%. And as a matter of fact, Kenny, since that time, I've held my ground on that. And I can tell you, out of all of our employees in Montgomery County, I'm the only one who has not taken a pay increase or a cost of living increase.
That is exactly the opposite of what we expect from politicians. You also removed tolls on major roadways, May 2019, right off the bat. You got into office and you said, look, driving around Houston area is very expensive.
Sure.
We don't need these tolls. How did you do that? How did you pull it off?
Well, we started out during the campaign and asking, well, if this is paid for, and this toll section that we have in Montgomery County on 242 overpass, why are we still collecting tolls on it if it's paid for? Because the contract with our Texas Department of Transportation is if they're in charge of it and we're not collecting the tolls, they maintain it. So we don't have to maintain it. So we don't need to have the income from it as an additional tax. And so what I said was, well, we just need to take it off if that's the case. It was a little bit of a workout, but we got it done, and it was incredible. And it's the second time in the state of Texas, in the history of Texas, that a toll has been removed.
Oh, wait a second.
That's true.
The second time. This is the second biggest state in the country.
That's right.
We have this thing over here near the radio station called West Park Tollway, and it's been in Houston longer than I have. I'm like Davy Crockett. I wasn't born in Texas,
Right.
but after I became an adult, I got here as quickly as I could.
Same here.
And I've been here most of my adult life. And when I moved here, the thing everyone told me about that tollway is all we need to do is pay for it. And once we pay for it, it won't be a tollway anymore. And I'm sure being a government leader, you're aware of the fact that that was a big, giant lie.
Yeah. Well, the deal is that we are told this so that we won't resist the tolls coming, but then once we pay it off, the tolls just keep coming. It's a huge source of income for a city or for a state for that matter. But for us, we just decided, I said, hey, it's an additional tax. We're already getting transportation money from other sources. Why are we taxing the people to be able to get off of I-45 onto 242? And so we removed that, and it wasn't easy, but it's the second time I said in the history of Texas. And in the first one was up at I-30 in between Fort Worth and Dallas many years ago. That's it.
Right.
All the rest, they're just rocking and rolling.
Okay, so on that note, I don't know if you've looked at this lately. Dallas, downtown Dallas is turning into Detroit. AT&T is moving out of Dallas, and they're moving out to Plano. Now, to the people that don't live in Dallas, they don't realize what a big deal that is.
Right.
Dallas is becoming a wasteland. It's like Running Man or like, Hunger Games, or it's like a dystopian science fiction film.
It's like San Francisco or like New York or whatever, where you had it's the ideological difference. People want to be in a low-tax, safe environment. That's where they want to be.
Right.
And the result of that is if you everywhere where you have Democrat, everywhere where you have progressive socialist mindset, you have an increase in crime and you have an increase in murders and all the rest. Look at Chicago. I mean, it's amazing to me. In 2019, in Harris County, they turned over 64 Republican conservative judges. 64.
Yeah.
So what was the result of that?
Crime.
Now we are we call it south of the border, Spring Creek, between Montgomery County and Harris County. You have this influx of crime that's coming over the border that we have to deal with as the result of that change of regime that didn't used to be there under the previous regime.
Right, exactly. Now, with that in mind, I feel like you did something that you don't get enough credit for. During the pandemic, a lot of Republicans, conservatives, libertarians looked at Governor Ron DeSantis and they said, this is the guy that's fighting against the COVIDians, the people that are using this. It's tragic, it's unfortunate, but they're using it to exploit people. They're using it to take away our liberties and our rights.
Right.
And everybody said, well, look what DeSantis is doing. He opened up the beaches. He opened up the churches.
Right.
And then people would often say it was Abbott was doing whatever DeSantis did 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. The part of that conversation, the part of the narrative that people outside of Southeast Texas don't understand is that you were a big part of the reason why Abbott started opening up the state. You guys did it first in Montgomery County. I think it actually started with churches, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And, we were in our group of counties, probably out of the 17 counties that would surround us by extension, we were the last to close and the first to open. And we were only closed for 2 weeks. It was amazing. And all we did was just look at the numbers. And we just saw that, hey, what you're telling us the projections were going to be aren't even slightly, they're nowhere near that. So the fact of the matter is that our economy is suffering, the people are suffering, the kids are suffering, everybody is, and we have these people enclosed and stuck all together in these little enclaves, whether it's their home or whatever, and that is not healthy. People are healthier when they are with other people. I saw that immediately.
Yeah.
And
herd immunity.
You can't, and we developed some mantras. One of them is you can't have a healthy community without a healthy economy.
Bingo.
Period. You can't do it. And when you've got a single mom sitting at home in the house with her kids, she can't put gas in her car because she can't go to work, she can't get food. What's healthy about that?
Yeah.
That's absurd. And so we took a pretty strong stand on that. The governor came out with an order I thought was and there was a lot of interesting things that happened. But one of the things that took place was the governor came out with an order that said nobody can meet in groups of 12 or more unless they get permission from the county judge. Well, from that time, Kenny, as you know, the order of authority in this pandemic was the president, the governor, to the county judges around the state. And so when he came out with that, I came out with an order on my letterhead, put it out, and said anybody that wants to meet in group of 12 or more, here is your permission to do it. A couple of weeks later, we had the Catfish Festival in Conroe, and everybody was closed. We had 7,000 people there.
I remember that.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the pandemic, Montgomery County came out swinging faster, more effective people. The influx of people since that time has been incredible. We were at 600,000 people right about the time that the pandemic took place, and right now we're sitting at over 750 per the U.S. Census Bureau.
If you're just tuning in your radio, if you're just connecting to us on social media, my guest right now is Mark Keough, the Montgomery County judge, considered by many to be the most conservative county judge in the state of Texas. To those of you watching outside of Texas, if you don't know what that means, in Texas, it's almost an antiquated term. It's like the railroad commissioners in charge of the oil pipelines. The county judge isn't a judge in a criminal court in this context. It's the executive in charge of the county. It's almost basically the mayor of the county.
The CEO.
Yeah, the CEO. And Mark is considered by many, certainly the most conservative big county judge in the state. More with him in just a little bit. Don't change the radio. If you're watching us live streaming on the internet, don't go anywhere. We'll continue in seconds from now.
Pursuit of Happiness Radio.
This is Kenny Webster's Pursuit of Happiness on KPRC 950, Houston.
Getting connected with us, I am wrong mic there. There we go. Hey, I'm Kenny Webster. Thanks so much for getting connected with us, guys. KPRC 950. We are recording segments right now that will be heard later this afternoon on Drive Time Radio, KPRC 950 94.5 HD3 in Houston, Texas, the oldest talk radio station, the oldest radio station in Houston, and arguably I would say the oldest talk radio station in the state. And my guest right now is Mark Keough. He is the incumbent candidate in the Montgomery County race for county judge. Mark, if people want to learn more about your campaign, what can they do?
You know what they need? First thing is, if you really want to find out about who I am, go to markkeough.org. We used to have these different symbols for my websites, and we just said, let's make this simple, markkeough.org. You can go there, you can look at it, you can see what my values are, what we've accomplished, a lot of really good things, and it's very exciting that we were able to put that together as we entered into this new race. I am the incumbent. I'm in my third term. This will be for my third term. I've been in the county for 7 years now, leading the county.
I love it, man. All right, everybody, we're going back on. Stand by. We are getting back on the radio right now. All right, we're back. Exciting news from Hollywood. If you like movies, if you like horror movies, a trailer just dropped for the new Mummy movie. You know, it's good to see Joe Biden keeping active in his golden years. I thought that was very exciting. Hi, everybody. I'm Kenny Webster. This weekend, if you enjoy my stupid one-liners, I am going to be the MC this weekend at the Montgomery County Trump-Reagan dinner. It's a great honor. Ken Paxton is going to be the keynote speaker. In attendance will be Congressman Wesley Hunt, one of his opponents, but I think really the two of them are really just trying to stop John Cornyn. We'll discuss that later. That's another conference. Pat Fallon's going to be there. Dan Crenshaw, State Representative Steve Toth will be in attendance. Mark, I don't want you to upset people or anything like that, but the people in your county feel a certain way about guys like John Cornyn and Dan Crenshaw, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's I think when it comes down to it, I'm not sure who's going to win that race between Toth and Crenshaw, but I can tell you, Toth is the one in the big picture that I think represents more of the heartbeat of where Montgomery County is.
It certainly is. It seems like ever since, I always like to tell people I endorsed Dan Crenshaw in 2018.
Yeah.
And then I stopped the sentence right there.
Dan has got his view of things that a lot of Houstonians, a lot of people around the area that they're going to stand with him. How it's all going to end up, I'm not sure. Being a county judge, I have the luxury of not being able to endorse one or the other per Texas Ethics Commission, so that makes it easy for me.
You're very diplomatic, and also it does take the pressure off you.
Yeah, but I know Steve, and I know him, and I also know Dan. I've spent time with both of them, and it's an interesting race at best, for sure.
I feel like someone who's been pretty active in local politics. I'm a Tea Party guy. I'm a Liberty Republican.
Yeah.
I feel like when I go out to these events, military veteran charity fundraisers and stuff, Steve is a guy I see all the time everywhere. And I get it. Dan works in D.C. Steve works in Austin. I just feel like we see a lot more of Steve Toth than we do with Dan.
I think that's probably that. If you mentioned it, because Dan's always gone. I mean, it's like Morgan Luttrell. He has always been gone as well. But I will tell you, they do come back. They do talk to us. But there's no question. Steve is there. He's engaged. We attend the same church in the Woodlands, and I've known Steve for many, many years. A longtime friend of mine.
You also are friends with another buddy of mine. For years, I've been a speaker. Very honored to be a humble part of the Texas Youth Summit with Christian Collins.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Christian.
Yeah, you know all those guys.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Christian's a nice young man. And he just got married, by the way.
Isn't that great? I was at his wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's where we saw each other. That's right. I forgot about that.
I don't think Christian's wife would like it if she heard me say this out loud, but I've often said that Christian Collins is kind of like the Charlie Kirk of Texas. He's a millennial, he's a conservative, he's a thought leader, and he mobilizes these young conservatives. But with the exception of Turning Point USA, there's nothing like the Texas Youth Summit.
No, it was unbelievable, the opportunity that we had to go, and I had a chance. It was funny, I got to do the pledges, but in doing the pledges, I got a chance to explain the pledge and what it meant as we then said the pledges. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was a great time. Great time.
I was a big fan of it. Not to air out my personal life too much on the radio, but some people already know about this. I had an incident recently with crime, being a victim of a crime.
Yeah.
And it was a crime that was taking place actively in Harris County. And at some point, this is an open case. I won't speak too personally about it. But one of the experiences I had, one of the things I learned was getting justice as a crime victim in Harris County or Houston is almost impossible. Getting justice in Montgomery County is a very different experience. It's weird because they're right next to each other.
Right.
Isn't it strange to think, Mark, there's this invisible line right here. And if you're on that side of the line and you're a single mom who's being terrorized or harassed by, a former lover, your ex-husband, your baby daddy, whatever.
Yeah.
On this side of the line, you're very unlikely to get any protection or justice. On this side of the line, it's a very different experience.
Kenny, I'm going to tell you, it starts at the top. It does. It starts at the top. The highest elected position in any county in the state of Texas is the county judge. And I have a personal commitment to creating a culture of deterrence. And I say deterrence, that is a culture that the criminal does some strong value judgments, whether or not he wants to come to Montgomery County and whether or not he wants to be involved in crime. I can tell you that when they find out they're in Montgomery County versus Harris County, the testimonies are they are very sorry they ever entered into Montgomery County. And we have that culture, and that's what the people want. I serve the people. And my goal is to create a safe environment and to push towards a safe environment. I mean, we have spent the money to protect the people. We do that on a regular basis. Our sheriff is an awesome sheriff, and his people are going to arrest people. And then we have the tremendous district attorney and our district attorney's office that are willing to press the charges. And then once the charges are pressed, then we have a judiciary that is willing to make hard judgments and incarcerate or do whatever they need to do. And if you don't have that basis right there, you're never going to have a culture of deterrence. So I push that, and we fund it. We have over doubled the amount of money that we've spent on law enforcement since I have been in office in 2019. I
think that was perfectly explained. Stand by. I got to play a stinger real quick, a liner. We are connecting to our network.
This is Kenny Webster's Pursuit of Happiness on KPRC 950, Houston.
Reconnecting with the KPRC listeners. Greetings, kids. Thanks so much for turning on your radio today. My guest right now, Mark Keough, is in the studio right now, county judge. Mark, you've been in politics for a while. You've been in state politics. You've been in local politics, municipal and state. What's the biggest difference between the two?
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, I believe that all government is local. Because what you have state issues that we have our state representatives that we need them to take care of stuff. But the fact of the matter is they meet once every 2 years.
Yeah.
Here in Montgomery County, every 2 weeks, we have a commissioner's court that we make decisions to benefit the people every 2 weeks that go into effect right now.
Yeah.
And for me, that has been very satisfying and rewarding. I served 2 test sessions in the House of Representatives. You can work on a project for 2 years, take it to the legislature. You have to convince 180 other people to go along with you on this. You being one, and then you got the rest of them in the Senate and in the House. And if let's say everybody agrees, it could be vetoed by the governor.
Yeah.
We make decisions every 2 weeks, and if it doesn't work 1 week, in this first 2 weeks, we can turn back around, reframe it, and try again. And I think the people are much more benefited by the local government, for sure.
Do you think it's interesting how much attention goes towards national politics, but by comparison to local politics, national politics is important, obviously, but it doesn't affect your life as much as local politics do.
I was sitting with my wife the other night, and, you want to take your shoe and throw it at the TV. And I looked around and looked at her. I said, Kim, is there anything we could do to change that up there right now? Can we do anything to change anything up there? Well, no. Can you go up there and you talk to the president and get something to change right now? No. Can you talk to the House of Representatives, or can you talk to the Senate, any of those guys up there right now? And we know some of these senators and whatnot. If you can pick the phone up, can you get any change to take place? No. But you could in local government. You can come to Commissioner's Court, look at what's on the agenda, and you are there to make your comments. And people in the community can have an impact by coming and talking to us in our Commissioner's Court.
You have a close relationship with state political leaders, local political, all these guys.
Yeah.
Everybody running for Senate, everyone running for congressman right now.
Yeah.
On the left right now, the Democrats are having their own infighting. We have our own infight,
Sure.
Steve Toth, Crenshaw,
Right,
Cornyn, Paxton Hunt.
Yeah.
But their thing right now is, what is it? Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. Jasmine Crockett, to me, seems like she does not want to be senator. There's a video of her going viral on the internet saying Texas is racist. That's weird. She's not even from Texas.
Yeah.
And then there's James Tallarico is a guy who is considered to be this white Christian that's supposed to be very appealing to the conservative base in the state, but at the same time, Christians often, I've not heard him do this, I haven't spent a lot of time listening to him, but Christians tell me that he'll cherry pick things out of the Bible so he can make an argument, a biblical argument for abortion, a biblical argument for the trans movement, a biblical argument for the LGBTQ movement. I'm a Catholic. That confuses me.
It confuses me, too. And the fact of the matter is I think on that side of the aisle, these people, Kenny, live in an alternative universe.
Right.
They see things completely different. It's an ideological difference, for sure. And the things that they're committed to, I think when you talk about Crockett and the things that she says, I listen to her, and I'm thinking to myself, who in their right mind can take this person seriously?
Right, yeah. It's true.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is I think that what we bring to the table as conservatives is we try a huge effort to be very clear thinking, to listen, to engage, and to evaluate and reevaluate, and where we can firm things up and make things better. I think we have an obligation to the people to do that. That's what a representative government does. Whereas the others have an agenda that is so off the wall to get their ideological things in place. Conservative people that live in Texas, by and large, and you can see this by who's running most of the state, the conservatives are reasonable, good people.
Yeah.
And contrary to that, we have this constant badgering of us over our values, when our values are what make us, the community and the state, great.
Sure.
So, we're in the top 6-7 economies in the world. Texas. I'm talking over the Soviet Union, over Australia. I mean, can you imagine that? Texas, it's remarkable. And just look at all the companies in business. Space City. Elon Musk and his company starting a city here in Texas.
I love it.
It's remarkable when you think about it. And very MAGA-oriented, very Trump-oriented type.
Absolutely,
types.
and about the working class. The new Republican era is not about the elites or the billionaires. It's about average middle-class people. The very, very rich and the very, very poor seem to be supporting the Democrat Party. But the middle class, the upper middle class, the working class, that's the Republicans now, isn't it?
Absolutely. It absolutely is. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Something I don't find that most Democrat voters are bad. I mean, the average person is probably just the voter. The average voter is probably not a bad person. Most of them want what's best for people.
Well, there's different levels of Democrat.
Sure.
Like Mayor Whitmire. He's one of those old blue blood Democrats.
I think he's the best big city mayor in America, and he's a Democrat.
He's awesome, and I served with him in the House of Representatives.
And you probably didn't agree with him much back then, did you?
We had differences in agreement and ideology, but let me tell you, he's very much interested in fiscal responsibility. He wants to take care of those who cannot not help themselves. He does not want to give away things free. He doesn't want to turn our infrastructure into nothing but walking paths and bikes. He wants real live transportation. And in his mind, he says, look, we don't want to do these road diets where we take 4 lanes, turn it into 3. We want to leave them at 4. If you want to ride your bike and you want to do those things, then go to the park and do it. The roads out here are for going back and forth to work. That's what he's told me.
You know what's incredible about that? Because I hear people on the left, like at my gym, I'll hear liberals. They're nice people. We talk.
Sure.
But they're like, why is he getting rid of the bike lanes? That's terrible. It's bad for pollution. The city was built a long time ago.
Right.
And the bike lanes are preventing an ambulance from driving down the road.
That's right.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And at the same time, I live in Houston. Mark, nobody's using these bike lanes.
Well, I was just going to say.
It was a fun experiment over the last decade. Nobody's using it, and it's stopping people. It's stopping an EMT from saving a child's life. Isn't that?
And it's jamming up traffic during crucial times when we need to move vehicles.
Right.
If you were to come to Montgomery County, people that move to Montgomery County, 70% of the people that move to Montgomery County are moving into single occupancy homes or into apartments. Single occupancy homes requires 2 cars. They have on average 2 cars, and apartments are a car and a half.
Right.
So when you think about that, we need expansion. We don't need a condensing of roads for walkways that nobody is going to use.
Yeah.
It's remarkable to me. Another issue is the push for mass transit. You know, last time I checked, this is Texas. And you know what? People like to drive in their own cars in the way that they want to get to work. And if they want to carpool, they'll do it. Now, there are some great mass transit deals, I think, that work great. We have one that goes from the Woodlands down to the city of Houston. But the fact of the matter is people want to drive themselves. They're independent. They want to listen to what they want to listen to. They want to have the people with them that they want. And they don't want to just go in this mass confusion, which, by the way, is losing money. Metro is losing money nonstop all the time.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. People love comparing Houston to Dallas-Fort Worth. And if that is a fair comparison, and I think it probably is in terms of population and economy, in a way, if in that comparison, Houston is sort of like Dallas, and Montgomery County in the Woodlands is sort of like Fort Worth. It's these two cities crammed next to each other. One of them is very liberal. The other is very conservative. And we see what's happening in Fort Worth. It's because of the growth, because the economy is so great, it's slowly becoming more liberal. Montgomery County is growing massively. I mean, people, they call it white flight. I call it lib flight. People are trying, I mean, it's a very diverse community. You can't call it white flight.
Yeah.
If everyone there isn't white, that's a very, marginalizing way of describing it. But in Montgomery County, with the growth you guys are experiencing, not just some of the biggest in the state, but some of the biggest in the country, what do you do to keep the left from taking over what is a conservative enclave?
Kenny, we have, first of all, we have stable government. Stable government is essential with ideologies that match. When I watch that commissioner's court down in Houston, you have basically one strong conservative on there, and the rest not so.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah,
but Tom Ramsey.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
love him. Love Tom.
But here in Montgomery County, and we ideologically, we basically believe the same things. We believe in small government. We believe in low taxes. We believe there are necessary regulations. When it comes to our population growth, people buy property, and we have this pesky little thing called the Constitution, which requires us to let them put on that property what they want. So if they want to have developments, they can have the developments. But the fact of the matter is that there are some regulations on how many homes they can have, how wide the roads are, and those are the things that we are involved in that keep things manageable. And it's funny. I was speaking the other day, and I asked the people. I said, people call me and they say, Mark, there's too much growth. There's too much development. You've got to stop it. You got to stop it. Texas Constitution does not allow the county to do that. We don't have that ability.
Yeah.
I will tell you this though: if you want to stop it, quit doing things right.
Perfectly explained.
That's right. Quit doing things right.
Yeah.
Raise your taxes. Get rid of your law enforcement. Stop. Refuse to have a culture of deterrence, those kinds of things. And guess what? People won't move here. The reason they're coming here is because we have the things that most people want. They want a place where their family can come, where it's a family environment, it's a virtuous environment where they can play together, where they can pray together, where they can go to work together. And it's that kind of environment, and that's what the people want.
All right, one more question before we get out of here, because we went long on this interview. But Mark, you are a wealth of information. And I really do feel like you're one of the most important conservative leaders in the state for what you've done.
Thank you.
There's a big discussion right now about open and closed primaries. To me, it feels like the open primary situation is designed to protect moderate Republicans. It feels like it's a system. Like, what's the point of having a party if anyone can vote in your primary? And it's not as if you've got to take a test or pay a fee to join the club. You just have to register for the party.
Right.
What's your position on that?
Well, my position on that is I think we need to register for the party we're in, and we need to have our own primary.
Yeah.
I think that's what needs to take place.
It's so easy to explain. Somebody contacted me recently and they were like, Kenny, I could explain why open primaries are good, but it would take a long time to explain. I'm like, it shouldn't have to take a long time to explain.
All you have to do is get the guys on the other side of the aisle, if you're trying to take out a good conservative, get the guys to go along with the moderates on the other side of the aisle and get them all to come and vote in that primary, and you've just lost a good conservative candidate.
A lot of people think the county judge, not the county judge, the Speaker of the House, the Texas Speaker of the House, who often is supported by every Democrat and all the moderate Republicans, that culture that takes place in the legislature is a consequence of the open primaries. Would you agree with that?
I would say that's the case, yeah.
It's downstream from it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. We have the voter base to be a more conservative state if we want.
For sure.
A more libertarian state, a more populist state, a more nationalist state.
Yeah.
But one thing that's preventing it, to me, I think, is the open primary thing.
I agree. I would say that's a fair assessment.
Well, I love that we agree on that. There's nothing else to say. I'm Kenny Webster. My guest for the past 30 minutes here or so has been Montgomery County Judge Mark Keough, a fantastic conservative leader in the state, somebody you guys should get connected with, somebody you should follow on social media. He will be with me and a lot of our other friends this weekend at the Montgomery County Trump-Reagan dinner. Mark, before we sign off, any closing thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, first of all, thanks. I thank you for your conservative approach. And with the amount of people that you have, it's this kind of a show that is going to continue to push I think, the conservative movement. In Montgomery County, we are conservative. We are red. We are red. And we're going to stay that way. But it starts with leadership, Kenny. I'm telling you, this thing could go south anytime.
Yeah.
And what we can't afford is a change in leadership in our commissioner's court or whatever, because we are on a roll for the last 7 years, and Lord willing, we're going to come through and clinch this deal one more time for a third term.
County Judge Mark Keough of Montgomery County. I'm Kenny Webster. Thanks so much for getting connected with us today, watching and listening. Subscribe to the podcast. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning for more of what you bought a radio for.
You are listening to the Pursuit of Happiness Radio. Tell the government to kiss your ass when you listen to this show.